What's going on, everybody? It's Rick from Gardener with Barchuckin. It's been 2 weeks since I fed this Vermihut. Let's check it out. I know I had pineapple and the pulp from juicing, so let's see what's hanging around. Oh, there's that pineapple skin, which I had a feeling this was going to still be around. But wow. They're doing a number on this. Can you see those worms? Basically, it's almost like each one of those little pieces of the pineapple, it can be broken apart. There's worms all throughout this. I'm going to move this over to the side. So the pineapple was there, the pulp was over this way. I added a bunch of bedding that last go round. So I'm just going to go ahead and incorporate all this together. There's my pineapple stem. Try that again. There's my pumpkin stem. Okay, definitely a very good sign. There's no funky smells or anything like that over the course of the 2 weeks. And then getting a chance to incorporate all that bedding with the castings to hopefully keep these worms nice and happy. I coach youth bowling, and they did something called a Chinese auction. You put tickets in a little basket, and my ticket was drawn on one of the baskets, the prizes, and it had all of this shredded paper in there. So I'm just going to add that to this feeding area and see how it breaks down. So to help them out, I got some pumpkin, and then I still have a bunch of this pulp from the juicer. My brother's a juicing crazy man, so he ends up giving it to me, so then I can use it in my worm bins. Hey, woohoo! Before I started burying it, I remembered there's the pineapple skin. And there's the pumpkin stem. And when I go ahead and bury the food, I like to add a little grit form, which is ground up eggshell. Then I go ahead and bury this. The reason why I like adding the ground up eggshell, the worms don't have teeth. So what they're able to do is use that ground up eggshell as a form of grit to help them digest the food. The worms, they have a crop and gizzard, so as they squirm around, the ground up eggshell helps to break down their food. Then on top of the feeding area, just a little something extra for the worms. This is some worm chow. So that consists of ground up oats, flour, cornmeal, a little bit of pulverized eggshell. This is available for the worms right away, so they can go ahead and start eating on that as that food continues to break down and gets available for the worms. The bin biology helps to break that food scraps down, and then the worms want to get after it. Then they can go into the feeding area. I'm going to do a quick check-in on the lower level. So I'm loving how this is looking right now. I'm not going to go ahead and mess with them. I'm I'm seeing some worm activity down here. So that's good to see. This is still looking kind of moist. I may get a little bit more water for this right now, so give me 1 second. Let's see. So I will put this into that lowest tray. So definitely noticing a lot more worm activity. So if I was watching this over a year ago, I probably would have cringed at what I just did. But I'm trying to run this bin just a little wetter. So just seeing how this goes for worm population and growth. It has these little feet that I have to make sure I get back into the container. And for basically a whole year, when I was doing and showing this weekly, I tried to keep this much drier to keep the worms up in the feeding and the inoculating tray zone. But now, after talking with a buddy, Brian, he suggested about trying to run it just a little wetter, and that's what I'm giving it a shot at. And this has tons of worms in it. When I redid this, I added a bunch of coffee grounds to help kind of inoculate and break down, help this bedding to not kind of stick and mat together. And actually, I have some more of that other bedding. So all I'm going to do is kind of try to incorporate it just a little bit. And then I'm going to definitely add some more water to this to help with that dry bedding. And I lied. I said I wasn't going to mess with these guys. Yeah, this is looking beautiful. So definitely, if you're noticing anything, this go round, much more moisture on my part for this bin. And we'll get to see if there is a correlation with the moisture to how many more red wigglers there are after a few months. Okay. Well, if you guys have any questions, don't forget to drop them down in the comments. Thanks for coming along, checking out the video. Everybody have a great day.